Hey guys, and welcome to the channel. We're here at Beer X 2026. I'm here with Simon from Muntons. We have been asking some of the guys some burning questions that are going to basically help brewers along the way to see if we can improve their beers. So I've got a couple of questions for you, ask you, Simon.
Fire away, mate.
Awesome.
Fire away.
So first question we got here is, what is maybe what the biggest cost-saving tip is that brewers can overlook when selecting a malt?
So when they're selecting their malt, it's probably not the place to be looking for cost saving.
Okay.
They probably want to be looking at their brew house efficiency.
Okay, yeah.
You reduce your brew house efficiency, essentially you need to use less malt to gain the extract that you need for your beer.
Yeah.
So it's more of a process thing, it's something you can do in-house.
Okay.
It's free for them to do.
All right.
Save them a bunch of cash.
All right. And the sort of processing you're talking about is, like you said, that's that efficiency, making sure you're getting extract, making sure that your process is correct. And basically, at the end of the day, you're getting more beer.
You're getting more beer for the same amount of malt.
So the next question is, how can brewers improve foam stability through their grain bill?
So foam it's all about loading your grist bill up with protein.
Okay.
So you want like high protein malts, high protein adjuncts. So could be torrefied wheat, could be malted wheat, could be flaked wheat, flaked oats, anything that's like high on protein to load up that protein and keep the foam in your finished beer.
And that protein that you can look at is probably on the COAs and stuff like that, the information?
It's on the COAs. It's expressed as nitrogen. But yeah.
All right, no, perfect. All right, so next question we got here is, why does malt modification affect mash performance?
So malt modification is essentially how much of the starch is available that's been made available through the malting process.
All right.
So regular ale malt is like very well modified, so it's very easy to access that starch and turn it into sugar when you mash in.
Okay.
Whereas a lager malt is under modified, so you need to mash in with a different temperature profile to be able to access that starch and turn it into sugars.
Okay. All right, so it's all about just, again, checking out COAs, making sure that the right sort of your end result is there in your COAs.
Yeah, of course, man. Like, so it's also about your equipment. So if you're a single infusion brewer with mash tun, ale malt is the way to go. You could use lager, but you get more efficiency out of the ale malt because it's more accessible.
Okay.
It's more modified.
All right, very good tip there. So the next question is what malt choices can help brewers improve beer body without adding the sweetness?
So beer body without adding sweetness, a thing called dextrins.
Okay.
So you get dextrins which are unfermentable sugars.
Okay.
And that comes from dextrin malt.
Yeah.
Could come from chip malt. But majority dextrin malt, use it 5-10% of your grist bill. Okay. It'll give you unfermentable dextrins, it'll improve the body of your beer.
Okay.
But it won't add any sweetness.
Without adding that sweetness.
Yeah.
All right, perfect.
Yeah, easy, that's an easy win.
All right. Yeah. So something like chit, something like the dextrin, add that in. You said what's your percentage again?
So 5 to 10%. You can push it higher if you want. 5 to 10% is a really good starting point.
Okay, awesome. So last question I have here is, how can brewers make more sustainable beer through ingredient choices?
So the ingredient choices to make sustainable beer would be looking at their suppliers, see what their sustainability credentials are.
Yeah.
If they're a maltster, is it coming from regenerative agriculture?
Yeah.
If it's not, then it's probably not as sustainable as somebody who it is coming from.
Yeah.
Hops, talk to their hop suppliers.
Yeah.
Yeast, talk to the yeast suppliers and manufacturers.
Okay.
They need to have a good dialogue with their suppliers. Yeah. And that's a really important thing to make sure they're making a sustainable choice.
Okay, so an easy win is kind of looking at, for instance, Muntons, one of the most sustainable maltsters around.
Yeah.
And trying out their malts, because at the end of the day, it's helping you in the long run with sustainability. Yeah.
Yeah, totally, man. So a lot of people think that if the malt's a bit more sustainable and it's grown regeneratively, it performs differently in the brew house.
Yeah.
But it doesn't. It just performs exactly like any other malted barley would.
Yeah.
Obviously switching to us is a very easy win, but at the same time, talk to your suppliers.
Yeah.
Talk to suppliers if there's something you want to know, what their sustainability credentials are.
Yeah.
Just ask.
All right, perfect.
Yeah.
So guys, that's Simon from Muntons giving us a few extra tips and suggestions in your brew house or your homebrew. So go check them out. Muntons on our website. And as always, guys, happy brewing.